It's a new year, time for some new games. Here are 10 tabletop role-playing games you should play in 2025 that aren't D&D. Hey there, adventurers, I'm Judd, and this is Short Rest Studios, where we believe fun builds community. Whether you love 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons or you're looking to move away from it, expanding your boundaries is never a bad idea, right? Some of these 10 games are already here and some are on schedule to be released this year, but every one of them has the potential to scratch that D&D itch, fix some of the D&D issues, and, bring the fun. I'll drop links to all of them in the description, and you want to stick around because the top 3 are some of the most highly anticipated RPGs of the year. Oh, and number 6 is loaded with spam. If you have a game to add to the list, drop it in the comments. Number 10. 13th Age 2nd Edition. If you love crunch, but not at the expense of fluid combat, you might already be a 13th Age fan, and it has a lot of fans. The 2nd Edition Kickstarter was funded in 62 minutes, and you can pre-order it now. 13th Age 2nd Edition beefs up its D20 combat with fresh class abilities and monsters. This edition comes in 2 books, a 240-page Hero's Handbook and a 160-plus page Game Master's Guide, but it still plays nice with most of the material from 1st edition. Every character has one unique thing that sets them apart. Plus, 13th Age 2E strengthens the game's icon connections, those ties to powerful magical archetypes that make your hero significant in the world. The new edition packs in even more ways to spin all these unique traits into twisty plots. At number 9, we have Nimble. You really dig 5e, but you want to streamline your combat while still giving it more tactical depth. Well, Nimble is the system you need. Nimble eliminates attack rolls. You just roll damage dice. You only miss on an @1, but the real fun comes when you roll the max on your damage die. Those crits result in exploding damage dice. For each crit, you roll the die again, and those exploding dice can stack infinitely. When it comes to boss fights, Nimble's got legendary monsters that act after each hero's turn and gained last stand abilities when they're bloodied that make them even more challenging. On top of all that, you've got greatly simplified character sheets, an extremely flexible action economy, and an overhauled magic system. You've got new mechanics like the assess action and the ability to defend your allies when they're attacked, improved initiative that keeps the narrative flowing into combat, and there's honestly a ton more. Plus, Nimble is completely compatible with all your existing D&D 5e material, including the new 2024 core books. Nimble did sponsor one of my videos last year, but I don't take sponsorships unless I love the product, and I honestly loved it so much that I got some friends together for an actual play video. You can check both of those out in the description. Number 8 on the list is DRAGONBANE. DRAGONBANE from Free League Publishing is a modern reimagining of the first Scandinavian RPG, Drakar. Absolutely no idea if I'm saying that right. The original game really took more inspiration from early Chaosium games rather than D&D, and you can see that in DRAGONBANE's D20 roll under system, where players roll under their skill rating to succeed. A @1, called appropriately enough Rolling a Dragon, triggers some powerful effects. Instead of classes, there are 10 professions that don't always stick with the traditional fantasy archetypes. And this doesn't limit your character development the way a class system does. It's got the fantasy races you'd expect, plus some unique ones like Wolfkin and Mallards, another nod to the inspiration of Chaosium. DRAGONBANE is set in the recently liberated Misty Vale, a setting that's caught in a rivalry between dragons and demons. And there's an emphasis on fast gameplay and minimal prep time. Plus, DRAGONBANE has my favorite TTRPG artwork. Adventurers, it would mean so much to me if you would consider supporting Short Rest Studios by joining the Adventurers Guild on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shortreststudios, and for as little as $1 a month, you can be part of the core Short Rest community that helps keep the lights on and the cameras rolling. Plus, you can get access to a guild-only Discord channel, early access to new videos, a monthly live stream, a hangout, and even quarterly adventure seeds written by yours truly. Fun builds community, and I can't wait for you to join the fun in the Adventurers Guild at patreon.com/shortreststudios. That link is in the description too. Next up at number 7, ShadowDark. If you haven't heard of ShadowDark, you've been living under a TTRPG rock for the last year or so. In my opinion, ShadowDark bridges the gap between old school and modern RPGs better than any other game out there, and I am far from the only person who thinks so. ShadowDark won 4 gold Ennies and the 2024 Three Castles Award. ShadowDark uses a D20 system that strips away every bit of needless complexity, where your players go on old school dungeon crawls, though it is definitely robust enough for any kind of setting. The core book includes 4 classic classes: Fighter, Priest, Thief, and Wizard. You enter the ShadowDark with limited hit points and limited resources, most notably torches that last 1 hour of real time. And the combat is deadly. You have roll to cast spells, simple distance measurements, and streamlined encumbrance rules. The 330-page book has everything you need to play: 239 monsters, 85 spells, and 97 magic items. ShadowDark is absolutely one of my favorite TTRPGs. I did a video on this one too. I'll link that one in the description. In the number 6 spot, we have Monty Python's Cocurricular Medieval Reenactment program. That took me like 17 takes to say right. This is totally not an RPG, at least that's what they say, but it does bring Monty Python's comedic universe to your table with a rules-light gaming system that includes character creation, quests, and random tables, and a liberal helping of spam. It's set in medieval England, but draws from the entire Python catalog. The game nominally hides the Python signature brand of absurdist humor behind the thin veil of a facetious historical reenactment program. It has a backgammon-like minigame called Fetch a la Vache, complete with dice catapults and rude French knights. And depending on what you pre-order, from the Bloody Peasant edition up to the upper-class Twit bundle, you get ready-to-run adventures, a bestiary, and of course, 16.2% more spam. Plus, there are a ton of hilarious accessories like the coconut dice roller.
What? Ridden on a horse?
We're getting close to some highly anticipated games in the top 3, adventurers, but first, number 5 on our list of TTRPGs to play in 2025 is DC-20. The Dungeon Coach created DC-20 as a new take on TTRPGs that build on what works in existing games like 5e, but fixes a lot of the pain points we've had to deal with over the years. Combat is built on a 4 action point system that lets you chain moves together, and in everything from combat to skill checks, high rolls are rewarded, especially nat 20s. Classes are reimagined. Casters use a flexible mana system to fuel their spells, and marshals get cool options like combat techniques and special maneuvers, and your characters feel powerful right from level 1. This class system makes for deep customization. It doesn't force you into specific attributes, and you can even combine ancestries to build whatever character you can imagine. DC-20 really tries to make every part of the game engaging. The disposition system tracks how NPCs react to your PCs. There are mechanics for everything from travel to pursuing personal goals between adventures, and it all comes in a single core rulebook. Coming in at number 4 is Mothership, the only non-fantasy game on this list. Mothership is a sci-fi horror RPG that uses the extremely intuitive D100 panic engine system. It's designed for fast play, and you don't have to be a rules expert to enjoy it. Character creation is streamlined. In fact, all the rules for creating a character are right there on the character sheet. The elegantly simple control panel style spreads make referencing rules a breeze for game masters, called wardens in Mothership. The panic engine system ensures that you always know how likely you are to succeed at a task, and it includes an extremely effective panic mechanic that cranks up the tension. Players explore derelict spacecraft and alien worlds and face hostile xenomorphs and cosmic horrors. The game comes in core and deluxe editions. Both sets are great and include warden and player rules, an adventure scenario, a dice set, pawns, and a map. The deluxe set does come with more adventures. Here we are cracking the top 3 with DAGGERHEART. DAGGERHEART is the fantasy RPG from Critical Role's Darrington Press. This game is really designed with a focus on collaborative storytelling and heroic adventure more than tactics, and it makes prominent use of the poor, neglected D12 with its unique dual dice system. Players roll hope and fear dice, which are both D12s for every check. When you roll higher on hope, you get hope points to help fuel your abilities. If you roll higher on fear, the GM gets fear points to mix things up with some additional complications. Rather than the usual rolling up a character, DAGGERHEART has a pretty innovative card-based character creation system with ancestry, community, subclass, and domain cards that evolve as your character grows. That, along with the collaborative and narrative-driven focus, allows both game mechanics and the story to shape your character's development. DAGGERHEART's gotten some flack for its, let's say, unique combat system. It's got no initiative, no rounds, no defined number of actions per turn. I feel like this will work best for a very experienced group of role players, but we'll see. One of the best things about DAGGERHEART is its great support for GMs. There's guidance for session 0, world building, and campaign creation for every experience level. In the number 2 spot, the Cosmere RPG. The Cosmere role-playing game, based on the fantasy fiction of Brandon Sanderson, is launching later this year with Stormlight archive content, with Mistborn coming later. The plan is to continue expanding with content from every part of Sanderson's universe. True to Sanderson's books, each world has its own magic system that works differently. The game will also include new canonical content and art, and it looks like it's got strong appeal for both Sanderson and RPG fans. Cosmere is a D20 system with some unique additions like the plot die, which introduces opportunities and complications to enhance the storytelling. Character advancement happens through flexible talent trees and heroic paths like agent, envoy, hunter, leader, scholar, and warrior. The system is actually designed to handle everything, even dramatic conversations. In combat, players choose between a fast turn with 2 actions or a slow turn with 3 actions each round. And finally, at number 1, Draw Steel. Matt Colville and his compatriots at MCDM are now taking pre-orders for Draw Steel, the first MCDM original RPG. Draw Steel is designed to strip away outdated conventions while keeping what makes fantasy gaming great. From level 1, you're already a hero and you're ready to dive into adventure without having to track torches and rations. Draw Steel boasts a dynamic combat system based on a 2d6 mechanic, plus there's a few d4s and d8s thrown in for good measure, and your attack roll determines your damage. No more missed swings or wasted spells. Your heroes gain resources as the fight goes on. Every character has signature abilities that they can use each round. Combat is designed to highlight those dramatic cinematic moments. There are also systems for negotiating with NPCs, research, and crafting. Draw Steel is launching with 2 core books. Heroes, the rulebook, comes in about 400 pages. It includes character creation, customization, and advancement. It has the classic ancestries you expect, plus some new ones. Classes, skills, combat, everything you need to run and play the game. Monsters is, well, the monster book. It builds on MCDM's beloved Flea Mortals, and it even includes encounter building tools that let you craft perfectly balanced challenges, or deliberately unbalanced ones if your players have gotten themselves in too deep. That's my list of 10 TTRPGs you should try in 2025 that aren't D&D. Which of these are you most excited to try? Let's talk about it in the comments, and check out the membership levels and benefits in the Adventurers Guild at patreon.com/shortreststudios. In the meantime, check out this video, and I'll see you next time on Short Rest Studios.